Hey Zachary, this is Keaton Everett with ABC. Going over your pitching video from camp. We're going to go through and talk a little bit about your motion and your delivery, and we'll kind of go through and stop at a couple spots that we like to look at, and just kind of look at your balance, look at your posture, what are your legs doing, where your weight's at. But overall, really good for your age. A lot of times, it's really hard to sort of get the strength side of things, because pitching is really a physically sort of demanding motion. It takes a lot of balance and coordination, and basically for you at your age too, it's really good to see that, especially your lower half. You have a pretty good idea of torque. You have a pretty good idea of how your lower half works in relation to your upper body, and that's something that you don't see a whole lot. And so that's something that is going to be easy for you to build on as you get older and get stronger. So that's really good to see. So we'll go through and start back here. Basically your feet are pretty close together, which puts your head over your back foot, which is good to see. All right. As you start going forward, there's not a whole lot of lean back, but try to get yourself where you're maintaining this head back here and your weight over that back foot, but just get a little bit more athletic in your feet. You just want to always try to be in a little bit better athletic position where you're just a little bit wider, just kind of in that spot, like if you're, going to shoot a free throw or something. You can kind of, this is just a little bit better position to sort of start in, but it's really not a whole big difference. But also, too, get in the habit of, once that foot comes off, eyes on the target. Doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it really helps you. It's something that is just so easy to just sort of, the more you can kind of visualize, see sort of where you want to go. It's better for direction. So just work on something like that. It doesn't seem like it helps, but it's huge. So here's the height of your leg kick right here. All right, now your eyes are back on the target. But the good thing is you're staying closed over your back, or you're staying over that backside, not getting out front. All right, so now the biggest thing that we want to see is hips start to go forward and that ball come out of that glove. All right, so as we click forward, you can see those hips start to drive. That ball comes out. All right, you get out a little bit. You get out a little bit too quick with this leg here. All right, we want to try to see the hips try to get a little bit more distance forward before that leg really kicks out. Maybe about right here. Maybe about right here, that leg's, still about right here, and then we start to kick out so we can stay back a little bit farther. Because through that foot strike, once that front foot first hits the ground, we get out front a little bit. And this is sort of where the strength stuff comes into play, is at your age, you just don't have the strength to stay back so much. But if you can work on it and sort of keep an eye on it, it'll be a lot easier for you to get that strength. What's good is that backside, it looks like you have your weight right, you're turning right. Now just the ideal position at this foot strike would be something where, we're out a little bit, where that knee's not out over that ankle. It's back behind that, back behind your heel a little bit. All right. Another thing too, for that torque that I was talking about is you get your hips starting to turn before that shoulder. So you can see those hips are turned before that shoulder. But your left side is leaking a little bit early. All right, let this glove travel a little bit farther out over that front foot. Still keep it below that elbow, which you're doing good. But at that foot strike, we still want to try to see that glove out a little bit farther, but we don't want to see that elbow turned as much. All right, we want to try to see a little bit more angle there, because you're just pulling a little bit on the left side. And like I said again, it's strength, but for the most part, it's really solid through that release point. Your back foot's still on the ground, which is awesome. You don't see that a whole lot. It looks like you're looking over towards that left, that first baseman, that left side. So just try to think about keeping your eyes and your chest on that target all the way through that release point. Even when you release it, don't let those eyes, don't let them get off that target. All right. You just kind of just pulled a little bit with that left side. It looks like here, you can see the very back of your head. You're probably looking down at the ground here, but we want to keep everything on that catcher the whole time. All right. But you're doing a good job at fixing that glove out there. but most importantly, you're staying through those legs. As you get a little bit longer, get a little bit stride, you're going to see a little bit more bend and a little bit more angle out over that front foot. Right now your head is a little bit over that heel. Ideally, we'd like to see you drive more through those legs as you get stronger, where that head and that chest is out over that front foot. You're getting a lot of extension, a lot of drive. You're releasing the ball closer with more angle, and that's just going to be something, again, as you get older with age. But again, just that initial setup, get a little bit wider. It's not a big deal, but the biggest thing too is eyes on that target the whole time, and try to stay through that back leg a little bit longer, a little bit farther down the mound, and try to get away from that left side pull so much. And I think if you can just keep your eyes on that target longer all the way through, it's going to be easier for you to keep from kind of pulling that head. We just want to get everything, get that velocity, get that torque from that right hip, those legs, instead of that left shoulder, and you're going to be good. So, but like I said, really solid, mechanically sound, awesome to see. So, nice work there. Good luck this year. Hopefully you have a great season, and hopefully we'll see you again with ABC.